So Easter is March 31st this year. The devil has done a real good job of confusing us about times and how to keep time, how to keep the days, how to keep the months, how to keep the years. We don't even know when to celebrate Jesus' resurrection on the right day. But I'm going to do my best to try to clear this up for everybody. Bear with me here. Jesus did not raise from the dead on no March 31st. He raised from the dead during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You can read about this feast in Leviticus 23. So when is the Feast of Unleavened Bread? Well, it starts in the first month of the year, on the 14th day of the month when the sun goes down. Well, when is that? Well, to know when that is, you have to know when the month starts, and then you have to know when the year starts. So let's talk about when the month starts. Well, the word month comes from moon. Month equals moon. We all know what a full moon is, but we're a little confused about what the new moon is. We have been taught that the new moon is when the moon is gone. It's not shining any light, when there's no moon. So how can the new moon be when there's no moon? I think we should call it no moon. For the sake of this video, we're going to call it the no moon. Right after the no moon, when the new moon starts to reappear, you will see a little sliver of a crescent of the moon right around sunset. And you'll be able to spot it near the sunset. Where I live on South Carolina, wherever the sun sets, it's going to be a little left and a little higher than the sun. After the no moon, when you see the new moon, which is the new sliver, right around sunset, the first night that you see that is when the month begins. So the month actually starts at night, and then the next day when the sun comes up, that's daytime, that is the first day of the month. Okay, so now that we know when the month starts, how do we know when the year starts? Because it ain't January 1st. The year starts in the spring, and doesn't that just make perfect sense that that's when God would decide when the year starts? Yahweh told us in Exodus 12, verse 2, that the first month of the year is in the spring. It's the month where we have Passover. It's the month where we had the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's the month that we have first fruits, which is the day that Jesus rose from the dead. So we have biblical confirmation from God himself that says that the year starts in the spring, not January 1st. Makes absolutely no sense to start the year in January 1st unless you're the devil and you want to trick everybody into starting the new year at the wrong time. So when in the spring does the year start? Well, do your own research, but this is what I've come up with. This is the best answer that I've come up with based on the research that I have done. After the spring equinox, which is around March 20th on the Gregorian calendar, the first new moon, which is that sliver crescent that we talked about, the first new moon after the spring equinox, that is the biblical new year on God's calendar. This year that happens on the evening of April 9th, which is the day after the big solar eclipse, which is very interesting in my opinion. So the evening of April 9th is the beginning of the year. It's the new year. And April 10th, when the day comes up, that will be the first day of the year. So the new year starts at sundown on April 9th. Remember, we're trying to determine the day that Jesus rose from the dead, okay? Because it ain't March 31st. And it will never be March 31st. So Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts on April 23rd at sundown. And the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a week-long holiday. I may make another video about that and what that's all about, but for the sake of time of this video, we won't. So the Sunday that takes place during that week is the day that Jesus rose from the dead. It's a feast called First Fruits. Again, do your own research on this. But that is the day that Jesus rose from the dead. The Sunday during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That day this year falls on April 28th, the day. Well, we'll start April 27th at sundown, and April 28th is the day. Day meaning the sun is up. That's the day that Jesus rose from the dead. That's the day that we should be celebrating it. So what is all this Easter crap? This video is already too long, so I'm going to go ahead and make another video exposing what Easter is all about. Don't be scared to hit follow.